Hello guys, Deadline here. In today's video, I've got something unique for you. I'll be sharing my thoughts on the top characters that I believe really stand out in the 4.3 Abyss. These are the ones I think perform exceptionally well compared to others, with the top 5 list for each half. I put in a lot of effort in researching for this video, trying to compensate for my editing skills. Keep in mind though that this is purely my opinion, so take everything I say with a pinch of salt. I'll be focusing on highly invested C0 5 stars and C6 4 stars, considering metrics like clear times, abyss rates, and the performance of the popular teams for the characters. For each character, I'll also feature a team, and you can find a link to a run with the team in the video description. Let me know in the comments what you think of this format, and let's get started. Alright, diving into the first half of this abyss, Chamber 1 features the puzzle The 1000 Pieces Inazuma boss. In Chamber 2 we have 3 waves consisting of a spinning mech and some rain guard mobs, and Chamber 3 introduces the Hydro Tulpa, the new boss added into the game. The key feature of the first half is that all the chambers focus on single target damage, and well, the Hydro Tulpa that hits really hard, having the Hydro status permanently on itself while being immune to Hydro damage. Because of the reactions that can be procced on the last boss, Pyro, Dendro and Electro characters are more effective than the others. Now, for number 5 and 4, we have Bennett and Xiangling, those being low-key the true MVPs of this half, enabling so many characters to have fast Abyss clears. I've grouped them together because the speediest Bennett teams in this Abyss feature Xiangling, and Xiangling does not work without Bennett. The highlighted team is Raiden Overload that has a substantial single target damage without facing any drawbacks from knockback effects in this abyss while performing super effective against the Hydro Tulpa. For this team, only C6 Kujusara is recommended, but she can be replaced with Fischl or even with Xingqiu or Yelan to turn the team into Raiden National. Coming in at number 3, we have Alhaitham. Among all the teams incorporating Dendro characters, Alhaitham teams stand out as the most effective in this half. This highlighted team is an aggravate spread team, including Fischl, Nahida and Zhongli. Another detail worth mentioning is that aggravate teams turn into Hyper Boom when facing the last boss, while Zhongli helps you to not die instantly. Securing the second spot is Navia, the newest addition to the Genshin roster. Hydro Tulpa helps you create crystallized shards that significantly benefit Navia, her team's clear times outperforming Alhaitam's. A recommended team is Navia, Zhongli Bennett, with variations of the team replacing Zhongli or Albedo or even Geo Traveler. And number 1, Trams.
Let's get this show on the road.
It is Linne, this half looking like it was created especially for him. Combined with Xiangling, Bennett and Zhongli, or even a very decent user, Linne manages to vaporize the Hydro Tulpa while deleting the rest of the chambers. Next up, second half. The second half of the Abyss is quite interesting, being overall easier than the first half. On Chamber 1, we have the annoying Thunder Manifestation, a highly mobile boss that has the Electro status applied on itself as well as immunity to Electro damage. On the second chamber, we have 3 waves, one with Geo Slimes and Geo Spectres, all immune to Geo damage, the second wave with Geo Bishops, and the third wave with 2 Geo Giant Hilichurls. And on the third chamber, we have 2 waves, one with 2 Electro Big Hilichurls and the second one with 2 Eremite Ladies that instantly spawn their pets. In this half, all the opponents are quite easy to group, so they do not require a grouper, and also all almost world-based characters are quite inefficient due to opponents having Geo Shields or Electro Auras. Also, the Electro immunity makes the big number Electro characters quite bad. However, teams that have both single target damage and slightly away damage that do not have groupers are really good. Dendro, Hydro and Pyro characters that do not rely on Vaporize benefit from this half. Well, let's get into the top 5. Aiming the 5th position, and a bit of a surprise even for myself as the list creator, is Baiju. Baiju works really well with the characters that have fast clear times, being really versatile, having great synergy with both Forina and Nilo. The highlighted team is an Ayato Toma Burgeon team that is surprisingly good for this half of the Abyss. I encourage more players to experiment with this setup and share their experiences. I really hope I'm not high on copium about this comp. Next up, we have Novilette, the giant laser carry, tank assassin vampire that could at this point be a dragon as well. Novilette changed the standards for on-field carries with his release for sure. The showcased team is what I consider to be his best team, with Furina and Kazuha all buffing the nuclear Hydro monster. Securing the first spot for this half of the Abyss is Nahida. Compositions featuring both on-field and off-field Nahida prove highly effective, showcasing her versatility in a wide range of setups. The highlighted team that I've chosen is Novilette along with his triple Archon buddies, Novilette, Raiden, Nahida and Zhongli, abusing both the power of Hyper Carry Novilette and Hyper Boom. The next two characters are years apart of all the others for this half. They are disgusting. In the second place, very close to the first one, it's Nilou. Opponents that group by themselves benefit the blooms of Nilou significantly, Nilou teams being the fastest at clearing Chamber 2 and Chamber 3. The highlighted team is Nilou, Nahida, Kokomi, Traveler. However, you can Ooga Booga your way with a lot of other Dendro and Hydro characters alongside Nilou and Nahida, as long as you don't kill yourself with the blooms. And the number one is...
The process of elimination.
Al-Haytham, that completely destroys this half. Al-Haytham teams are by far the best at this constellation for murdering the Thundering Manifestation, and they have found two really good clears for the rest of the chambers as well. The showcase team for him is a Hyper Boom comp that includes Yelan, Nahida and Kuki. Also, for this half, I want to make a special mention to Furina, who has the highest usage rate for this half. She is that versatile that she is played in Mono Hydro, Hyper Bloom, Bloom, Burgeon, Freeze, Vaporize, Electro Charge, Hyper Carry teams, Crystallize teams, Mono Geo teams, and even without a healer. What? She didn't make the top 5 because her average clear times are significantly worse than the ones mentioned before. The team that I want to highlight is Yoimiya Vape with Furina and Jin, that is really good for Chamber 1, but it lacks AoE damage for the other chambers. However, still good. Well, this will wrap up my leaderboard for this Abyss. Let me know in the comments what you think of the list and about the format in general. The truth is, any character can actually complete this Abyss within 90 seconds for each of the chambers for at least one of the halves with the right investment. At C0, Freeze team struggling usually the most. Also, poor Fenty. This Abyss to me is quite fun, and at the end of the day, the most important part is enjoying your time in Genshin. I hope everyone has an amazing day and see you next time.